Welcome to another beautiful day. Well, I don't have the beautifulness of the weather. Those guys do behind you, but it's another great day to be alive and another day of Dose of Did You Know? And with me today is John and special guest John. So I'm not screwing that crap up today. I got the names on, spot on. Thank you guys for joining me today. How are you?
We are doing fantastic.
So nobody, well, first of all, behind that sign there, we'll get into what that sign is. They've got some like badass stuff. They've got toys. They've got a pool. I told them I hate them both. Yep. I got nothing. Behind this flag is nothing anyone wants to see. So you guys are totally living the life. And I said to John, thank you for coming over there to make sure the other John was on time. That is a blessing in disguise. God is good. God is good. But tell the world a little bit about who you guys are.
My name is Jonathan Hill. Served in the Army from 98 to 2001 as an infantryman. Became a police officer in 2002. Retired out from policing because of cancer in 2010 and have been retired ever since. I worked for the Department of Defense for right at about 9 years. So that's about it. I'm married to a beautiful woman, Kristen. She's not out here right at this moment in time. She just was. And we have one kid. He is 20 years old, and I have two dogs, Romeo and Juliet.
Shut up. What are they? Tiny dogs?
One's 14 pounds. One's 90 pounds.
Which one's Juliet?
Juliet's the 90 pounder. She's a pit.
Right. Tell them like it is. Put those men in their place. And how about the other John, the secret guest?
The secret guest, yeah. I'm John Sloan. I retired from the Army as an infantryman 2 years ago. Did 18 and a half years. Married to Tiffany, which is not even here. She's back home. And then I have two sons and a daughter, 23, 18, and 15.
Boy, man. Okay, so there are 6 children. I have 2 girls and 4 boys. And I tell you, those girls, they put a run for your money. I could have a billion boys. I could raise boys into men all day long, but those girls, I can't take it. I can't handle it. So I hope you're having a better time than I did.
Yeah. Depending on what day of the week it is.
Right. So I got to ask you, so you're only 2 years out. How's that going?
Great. Actually, I'm a full-time college student. I'm going to Southern Union Community College right now before I transfer to Auburn as a dietitian and enjoying life. Stress is gone since I've retired.
There you go. That's good. That is good. And did you guys serve together? How do you two know each other?
You can tell this story.
So we met through another nonprofit in Alabama. We held a Purple Heart ceremony for like 6 to 8 guys at a golf course, and John was one of the guys. And we just happened to have a lot in common from our military careers. We actually went into basic training within 2 months of each other and never crossed paths. Of course, I was nowhere near as long of in the military as he was, but when we met each other, it was just like y'all already knew each other. We act the same, we talk the same. We actually, when I had my beard, everybody thought we were brothers. So it just happened. It just happened to turn out that we made a new family member through another veteran nonprofit. So, people always ask, what's the easiest way to get back into civilian life? And that's find a good nonprofit that actually puts you together with people of your like mind. And the one thing that we always miss from the military, regardless whether you did 4 years or whether you did 20 years, is the camaraderie between your people. So with that, that's what we found with each other. I love his kids just like they're my own. We got one of his kids sitting over here looking at us. But like I say, I mean, it's always easier if you find somebody that kind of did the same thing that you did in the military, and then of course thinks the same way that you do. Yeah. And now I brought him on to my board of Vet Dirty, and he's my tactical advisor.
So, why don't you have to go like 20 years? Isn't 20 years the standard before you, like, you were 2 years away? What?
I'll let you
The
tell us.
Army told me it was time for me to go. I got 2 Purple Hearts. I have titanium femur, gunshot wounds, and after jumping for so many years and everything else, they were finally like, both my knees need to be redone, and they didn't want to take that chance.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, you probably wouldn't walk if we did the surgeries that need to be done on your knees. So I went ahead and they medically retired me out.
Okay. Well, that makes
I tried lasting that year and a half, but they were like, no.
No, they were the
my mouth gets me in trouble.
They were the angel looking over you, saying it's time, maybe.
It was probably his mouth.
There was saying angel, but they were something looking over.
Yeah.
They might have had their own self-interest involved, but it was good for you. So,
oh yeah,
I'll say it like that. So tell me a little bit about the nonprofit Vet Dirty there behind you.
So our nonprofit is based off of disaster relief. I grew up in Florida, or right around Florida. I grew up actually in the bottom of Georgia, top of Florida. And we were always getting ready for hurricanes and everything else like that. And when Hurricane Katrina hit, I was an officer. I took some convalescence leave, went down and helped out some of my family members that lived in Slidell and lived in Ocean Springs. And it kind of just gave me a purpose other than being a police officer or whatever. So at the end of it, when Hurricane Harvey hit, we started going as a group of veterans. And then the Beauregard hit is where he lives in Smith Station. And when that hit, we decided to start a nonprofit for it so we could do disaster relief. And then we kind of stemmed from disaster relief after doing Beauregard, the hurricanes that hit South Carolina, North Carolina 2 years ago, and all the tornadoes from Nashville, Chattanooga, and all that, where we met Andrew Farr with Irreverent Warriors and Jason Van Hoosen with Irreverent Warriors. We got kind of involved with them, and then all of a sudden, one of our other good friends knew Anaya Blanchard's parents, and we went down there to help to see if we could use our training and our expertise in high value target finding to see if we could locate Anaya Blanchard. And we also went in there with Texas EquiSearch. That's where we met them. So we started to branch off with not only disaster relief, we also do search and rescue now.
I love that you're like, it's not enough. I always find like sometimes you feel, right, you lose your mission, you lose your purpose, right? That's like a common denominator across the board. I think actually across the board in life, it's just magnified. I always say everything's magnified when you're in the military. You might, have this feeling that we do as humans, but times that by like a billion, that is what it's like for someone who has served. And when you said about finding your purpose, you talked about, you were a police officer. A lot of people would be like, well, you went from one to the other, you're kind of doing your purpose, but it didn't fulfill you in such a way, I'm guessing, because you felt driven to even be more. What was that drive? Was it because you needed to use your body? You needed to use some,
Well, the point behind me going down there when I was a police officer was family. And of course, I don't have any brothers or sisters. I was not blessed with siblings. So everybody that I surround myself with, I don't have friends. I have acquaintances or I have family. I don't have that in between because I've always found out that friends will actually get you in trouble a lot more often, and they'll leave you hanging than family. So with that, so I didn't. Besides Katrina, I didn't get to do anything else as a police officer. So what I did was when I got out, I started a motorcycle business. I built custom motorcycles for about 5 years. Did all right in that. Didn't make $1 million, but I mean, we had a good time doing it and everything else like that. And then it got to the point where I was bored with life. Not in my family sense, but in my everyday sense, because I was retired. Right. So I had to have something to draw my attention. Idle hands are always the devil. So I had to have my attention drawn somewhere else into a place where I could actually help people, because I had the feeling at a young age that going to serve was what I was meant to do. My father being a Vietnam vet and everything else like that, I felt that my whole family's been in a conflict or been in a combat situation or been in the military. So I figured that was my place to keep that step going. And then, of course, once you get out of that, serving as a police officer, that's part of it. And then, of course, you're Christian. You're supposed to serve. You're supposed to help people. God gives you all these tools to use in His name. So eventually, I felt like I wasn't serving. So what I did was I started Bet Dirty with Jody Chapman, my vice president, and Trey Dorman, my money manager. I started it with them because they had the like-minded view of serving. So service for us, what our motto is, we have two mottos. One, we served our country. Now it's time to serve our communities. And then our other one is chaos is our comfort zone. Because we just do better in a chaotic situation. That just seems to be the easiest way to do things is in that chaotic situation.
I think sometimes that chaos brings you peace because you can see through the chaos, where a lot of people, it just boggles up their mind and they almost go, there's that fight, flight, or stay. They like freeze. They have no idea. Things just shut down. But you're taking God's gifts that have been into the training and you're actually utilizing them. And I imagine it, because I'm a visual person, as being like, there's all of this chaos, but you can see through the cloud into like a clear path. That makes complete sense.
Well, the easiest thing about the chaotic moments when we go up, like for the tornado in Chattanooga and everything else like that, is you see the devastation and people are hurting. But the one thing that you can do is ease that pain, because a lot of times your insurance company won't take the trees out of your yard. They'll take them off your house, but they won't take them out of your yard. So what we do is we go up there with equipment, we go up there with chainsaws, and we go up there and we try and clean the yards as we find people that want our help. We don't get paid. We don't ask for any money or anything else like that. The only thing that we've truly spent any of the money on is we built an 8-person motorhome out of the bus behind us. Let's see if you can see it.
I'm so glad it's there because I wanted to talk about it. So now people can see it.
So there's the
that kick-ass razor, by the way.
I can get Hunter to go move the razor.
Back it up, son.
I can go back it up and then we'll show the bus. But as far as it goes, I mean, the thing about it is I mean, at the end of the day, we try and spend all the money going towards helping other people. We don't need to have anything fancy. We just need to be able to have somewhere to, shit, shower, and shave, and then go on about our business. So that's exactly what we've done with the bus. So that's our biggest purchase so far. A couple of chainsaws and that, and we just go out there and work hard.
And it fits our attitudes. I mean, it fits who we are. We don't need nothing nice.
Yeah. So tell me about, like, how did you get into the search and rescue, and what does that look like? I know it's kind of like the natural step. Well, I would think it would be a natural step, right? There's not as a disaster that goes on all the time. But let me tell you, people are going missing, and sex trafficking and that whole 9 yards of things is happening every second of every day. So what was that transition, and how do you get into something like that? I mean, I know other, combat, especially combat veterans, I feel, are really drawn to bringing an end to that or doing their part in that.
I mean, with us, it kind of just fell in our lap, knowing somebody that knew that family. And being search and rescue, I mean, just because it's not a big disaster, it's like a town or something hit with a tornado, it's a disaster to that family. Mm-hmm. So in the same realm, they work together. Yeah. And then, we just kind of told them what we did in the military, our prior stuff that we've done, and we just used our natural training to do it.
Plus, of course, we're Southern boys, so it doesn't help that we're used to running through the woods looking for blood droplets or looking for deer or something like that. So
it's second nature. I said, God is so good. When you're on the right path, there will be testament. I believe this is my belief. that there'll be things that test you, right? Because evil does not want you to succeed into your purpose, that God's path for you. So there's always conflict. And if you can skip past that, there are gifts that he sprinkles your way that shows you that. And just kind of like, oh, we just happen to know somebody that knew somebody that's just saying, yeah, go, this, you're on the right direction of where you're supposed to be. So, there is a Jason out there that says, "What's up, boys?" So Jason Van Hoosen.
Jason
Oh,
Van
Jason.
Hoosen, what's up,
Oh,
Coasty?
Coasty.
Yeah, okay. I'm terrible with names. I'm like, I might have just hacked that up, but he's out there saying hey to you guys. So what is next? What do you guys see besides fixing the Jeep and enjoying the weather and your family and your wives and your children? What do you see as in your future?
The future, I mean, I guess for family or anything else like that is just to, kind of see what happens with the situations going in the United States right now.
Mm-hmm.
We were hoping for a zombie apocalypse, not a virus. But I mean, as far as that goes, but I mean, as far as Vet Dirty goes, I think, we don't want to get mainstream huge. We just want to be able to go out there and work hard, play hard, and everything else like that. And the one thing that we have found out with doing search and rescue and with doing the tornadoes and hurricanes is that it's kind of like being back in the military. You're with a group of guys that are all military. Some of them bring their families, like Coasty, like Jason. He brought his family into it, and they help out. But we have found that the camaraderie is there, and it helps combat people contemplating suicide. Which of course was never our intent. There's a million companies out there that do the veteran suicide, that do fantastic jobs, that do fantastic work with that, and we're just not set up for that. Of course, our phones are always open to anybody we call family or anybody we call brothers in arms or sisters in arms. But as far as it goes, we have found out that it actually helps other people by doing what we do. We found out that it actually made them think twice about maybe doing the worst.
Right.
And we've had a couple of guys that have gone on missions with us and everything else like that. I've been like, hey man, that was the best thing in the world. I was in a dark place, and that kind of brought me back into the light to see, I'm not a very, very religious person. I am a religious person. I'm a Christian. Our church actually is our biggest donor. Eureka United Methodist, they would kill me if I didn't throw them out there in Lincoln, Alabama. But they're our biggest donor. They're our biggest supporters. But with that, we've had 2 or 3 guys come and say, hey, you brought me back towards that light that I was missing. And also you brought me the camaraderie that I needed, that I missed from the military. So I think with that, our biggest thing is to bring more and more people into it. Into our small little community, and actually make it where people can come in, work hard, and get that feeling of accomplishment again. And then at the end of the day, if they don't drink, cool. If they do, cool. We drink a beer. We'll drink a mixed drink and kind of talk. We tell stupid war stories. We don't, of course, we don't get, heavy involved in combat situations or anything else like that. But I mean, it's just whatever you want to talk about. We're really open to what we've done and what other people are having issues with. We're able to help them out in any way we possibly can.
It gives them that purpose and drive again.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like you go out, you complete a mission, and then you go and shoot the shit afterwards. That's
exactly.
You work hard, you play harder.
Yeah.
The infantryman's motto.
I have that motto. It's a different motto. It's a different, it might look different, but it's the same thing. So Brandon Morris is out there. He said, proud of you, brothers. Andrew, so who connected us? Andrew Favre. He's like, hey guys, and Jason's
what's up, fellas?
So obviously you've created, I think when you go with purpose and it's about the actual mission and not about the individual, that's when greatness happens.
You're exactly correct.
And I love how you collaborate with other nonprofits and with other people. You know, there's not one person or one company or one event or one nonprofit that's going to change the world. It's just not going to happen.
You're exactly correct. You know, and a lot of people ask, you know, do you want to get huge? No, I'm not looking to be famous. I'm not looking to make millions and millions of dollars. All I want to do is serve people and help people. And John's the same way. Everybody on my board is that way. And with that, you know, I think that's what makes us a up and coming, because we're young. We're only a year and a half old. I think we're up and coming, you know, where everybody will kind of know our names because of the disasters.
Right. And those are the ones I love. I call them, it's like the grassroots nonprofits where it just goes directly, they're purpose-filled and it goes directly back into the communities. There isn't a vision. It's not a business.
You're exactly correct.
You have to have business fundamentals, but it's not the morality of a business, if that makes sense.
It's not a for-profit. You don't care about the money coming in or going out. It's all about helping people. That's
right. But I got to put that out there for people, not just in the military world, but in everything. There are nonprofits that are for profit. So don't get confused. Be educated. Do not be a sheep that just.
Yeah. Make sure that you do your homework. Make sure that you see what their percentage is of going back into their company besides going out. Mm-hmm. You know, I can name probably 15 that most people give to and they think they're fantastic, but you're just like, man, you haven't done your research. You know, they're huge corporations. They, you know, their CEOs and their presidents get paid millions of dollars a year. And you're like, how is that a nonprofit if you're making that much money off of it?
Right. I am with you. So our time has gone over, which I always know it does, especially when I'm like, I'm into it. I could go forever. But my last question to both of you, and I ask that you answer the first thing that comes to you, no matter how silly it might sound. It's not. What does love mean to you right now in this moment, John?
That's you.
What does love mean to me in this moment? Family. That's the biggest thing. If you have a good base family, my mother and my father live literally an eighth of a mile away from me. Me and my wife have a fantastic relationship. I think that family kind of connects you every way because it's godly. You know, with your marriage, you get married in front of God. And then of course you can't choose your parents, but your parents are you know, hopefully your parents support you in everything that you do. So I think that it's the family aspect.
I have to say you must be right because as soon as you said that, I saw your wife pop up on the chat. So I think you answered it correctly. That was angel sent.
But I was going to say the same thing, but I was looking more at the nonprofit. This is a family, and we do it out of the love for our country, for one, to help it and bring it back to the way it should be, because that's what's missing now is people helping people. That's how this country was built. Mm-hmm. And it's going away from that.
Yeah. I love that. It's my favorite question. That's why I answer it, because that is what I do. Lead with love. It's who I am. It's my motto. Thank you guys so much for coming, sharing a little bit about who you are, why you're doing what you do, and of course about Vet Dirty. And I will see you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Oh, before we leave, pull it up, because whoever you sent to move that razor, I saw it moved, the wind blown. So there is a la hotel.
Yes. Yeah. A la hotel for 8 grown people.
Yeah. It gets the job done. That's all important. Everybody that's watching, thank you so much for supporting and viewing and listening to what these guys have to say. And remember, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. And until next time, we will see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.